Ya'at-e! Welcome to today's reading. We are going to be reading Holiday Dharma. What sort of Dharma are you receiving this holiday season, or what sort of Dharma are you giving? Or what sort of Dharma are people around you that you love receiving in your presence? So if you do not know what Dharma is, I'm very much so reminded that a lot of people don't know, because when I listen to other readings, I don't think I've heard anybody just yet mention Dharma in at least like the English speaking readings, and that includes people who speak other languages and they're posting their readings in English. So yeah, Dharma. Dharma is the word that people are trying to say when it comes to so-called positive karma. So, if you already know what karma is, essentially karma is a lesson that we need to learn. And Dharma is the opposite, that's, so to speak. It's like the reward that we get from the universe to show us how far we've come, what we've accomplished in terms of being a holistic representation of a human being. Because at the end of the day, right now, we're in this little matrix where every day everything is all about choice, hence why free will is such a huge talking point on why things are so the way they are. And it doesn't mean free will as in people can do as they please. It means that we have the free will to do what is best to be done at all times. And so, let us begin with the Dharma reading at 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Alright, 2:11. So, let's see what is going on with the collective. And then we'll move on to the two options. Alright, so here we go. We got one. We got Koga no Ku. So that is the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, so this is a good stable energy for us to start with here for the Dharma that we're receiving. So with this, so far, the 9 of Pentacles is about like a great investment in my perspective. It is about the sort of simple rewards that we get from the work that we do and making upgrades in our life, taking a step forward, a step up. And so this is the main energy here of our Dharma, is that we are starting to reap the benefits here. This is like a double confirmation of like Dharma in the simplest way. Okay. So, yeah. Here we go. First steps. Whoa. So we got another 9, and that's Bo no Ku. And that is the 9 of Wands in the upright. 9 of Wands in the upright. On top of that, wowzers. Yeah, so that is like a triple confirmation of what I was saying about Dharma being the rewards of of our good deeds. And so this is like saying that you are ensuring right now that you are navigating very positively on your moral compass. And that you are seeking right now the smallest acts of reward, or the smallest rewards that you can get. The basics. You're just trying to check the boxes and see basically like what achievement can I unlock, you know, when you're playing a video game. I haven't played video games in a while, honestly, since the Palestinian genocide Nakba, second Nakba, started taking place on October 7th. I have not been able to do a lot of those things. Instead, I've been investing my energy in just trying to improve myself and to deal with a lot of old blockages, and which I have successfully. I have successfully been doing that, and I'm going to continue to do that. I digress. Anyway, so yeah, kind of similar thing here. You're doing what you can to check the boxes, to make the achievements here, and boom. And at the same time, because of this, your decision making is getting a lot smoother and more easygoing. You're getting better in the moment when you're playing your choose your path video game, when you got like the 4 options of like what to do. It's like, do you punch them in the face, run out the door, grab the weapon in their hand, or whatever the 4th option is. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, when it gets to that, like, whoa, the high adrenaline moment, you're at a point in this chapter with your Dharma where you're getting better at your decision making in really intense situations. And I do see that coming through from the 9 of Wands in the upright. So let's see what else we can gain here. What sort of Dharma is coming through? This is the 5 of Wands in reverse. Bonogo in reverse. So in a way, this does affirm what I was saying, because the 5 of Wands is somewhat of a conflicting energy. Can be a conflicting card. And so, as I was saying, it's getting easier for you to deal with these high intense situations, and which are conflicting, you know? It's getting easier to deal with conflict. So in a way, your Dharma is like these sort of upgrades in terms of your like functioning. That's your Dharma. And that is pretty good, because on this planet right now, we as a species are very much in need of being, as holistic as possible in terms of our functioning, in terms of our perceiving, in terms of the way that we take in our own energy, those around us, the plants, and our roles in this world, and what is the best option that we can take in this moment. So, for example, you're here on a channel called Native Veganarchy Oracle. And the intention behind this name and title is that I got this feeling every time I looked at other divinators, what other divinators are holding themselves to a more holistic standard of what it means to be a human being. And I see, bit by bit, a lot of different divinators mention eating animals in a very extraordinarily casual manner for our species. Or talking about different aspects of the government and how that would be a just thing. And so that's why I felt, in the spiritual realm, when we are working as a vessel for God, a reflection of that, a representation of that, the best thing that we can do is to chip away at all the things that make us farther than what we are meant to be, farther than what we were designed to be in the simplest way, which is just as compassionate as possible. And that doesn't mean pretending to be compassionate, but rather acting on compassion, because compassion may not look the way that people have been taught to think it looks. Compassion is really being honest and being true with oneself. That is what compassion is, and others. So, I digress. That is what is going on here with the collective. Alright, boom. Let's get it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I would say our Dharma basically is an upgrade. Because we're at a very... Oh yeah, what I was saying about the channel, Native Veganarchy. We're all native to this earth, but generation after generation, after genocide for basically all of the tribes on this planet, this genocide has been initiated by what it seems to be mainly the Khazarian sort of mafia, so to speak. These old ancient bloodlines that are connected to their misaligned folk. And then there's the rest of the world that is not so much included in this cult, which is pretty much everybody. We're all native to this earth. But, as I mentioned, in Europe, what happened to all the tribes there got turned into what they are today. And in Africa, what's happening to the tribes out there? They're getting turned into other than. And so on and so forth all over this planet. And the more that we accept our nativity to this planet, the more we can actually feel in our blood our indigenous ancestors speaking through us and sharing the wisdom that they once used to carry until it was extinguished and replaced with the kings and queens and so on and so forth of statehood and governance. And so that's native, right? We're all native to this planet. Vegan. I'm also indigenous though, like as in the last few generations, I still have my indigenousness intact. So that's that. Vegan, because veganism is simply to be as compassionate as possible at all times. And however, there's other more definitive degrees of that, which include, basically not causing suffering or harm to animals. And I would say people as well, because people are animals. And then anarchy. Native veganarchy. Anarchy is kind of a reaffirmation of nativity, actually, because as I was saying, that our nativeness has been destroyed by statism, essentially, in cults. Anarchy is to be without masters, to be without slavery. And so it's basically just an affirmation of that. And I thought it's important to also add that on because a lot of indigenous people today are in between worlds, I would say, more than anything, on supporting statehood, but nevertheless are supporting it. And I'm doing my best to not support it in these ways. And so, Native Veganarchy. That is the little spiel on why I have that name. So I suppose it was important to break that down for you because this is what the collective is going through. We're aligning ourselves with this basic holy trinity of what it means to be a human being. What it means to be a human being is to be native. What it means to be a human being is to be vegan, to be as compassionate as possible. And what it means to be a human being is to not allow others to treat us with that same level of compassion, anarchy. And so this concludes the collective reading. We'll move on to the options. Time is 15:15 in the recording. 2:11, 15:15, 2:11, 15:15. Alright, so we have our options here today. Actually, let me pull up the image. I have it. Okay, the options are number 1. We have a pretty floofy kitty. This kitty is a sandy, tan-colored floof with a gingerbread man costume on. And the costume is one of those little dangly costumes that goes in the front, so it looks like the cat or dog or whatever four-legged animal is wearing them is standing up on 2 feet when they run, and then the little arms wiggle as if their little arms are moving as if they're running. It's so cute. So basically number 1 is a gingerbread man costume like that on a floofy sandy kitten. And then number 2, very, very simple but very cute as well, a short-haired pink kitty with white paws and a nearly white, a very light blue bow with a mistletoe on the very front of it, a mistletoe decoration. So, and this kitty also has very large ears and a thin tail, thin short hair. So yes, those are the 2 options. Option 1, gingerbread floofy kitty. Option 2, pink kitty with bow and mistletoe. Okay. Ya'at to those who have chosen option number 1, 1737, 1737, 15:15, 1737. Okay, so option number 1, those who have chosen the gingerbread man. Let's go. The gingerbread man, floofy kitty. Ooh, what is that? Should I take it? Whoa, let's take it. Okay. So, you got the King of Wands in reverse. What is this about? Is this your energy? Is this somebody else's energy? What is this Dharma? This is some interesting Dharma. Okay. So, Bono O in reverse. The King of Wands is a very spiritual card. Spiritual energy, spiritual master. So, I think I need a little more insight on this. So it's almost, okay, well, what I'm saying is that you have applied yourself to becoming a spiritual master, to being a spiritual master. And it's like saying that, okay, we can get that going. We can get that in the works. So it's like, I see your homies on the other side, though, basically standing around you, and there's this like void, there's not void, but there's this like empty space, or how do I say this? There's like this bubble that you're like, you've opened up to, and you're about to stand in it, and you're about to shapeshift and transform and become this King of Wands sort of deal. I don't know how to put it. Yeah, I guess like I'm visually seeing like a bubble form around you. And it's like, it's a representation of your cocoon. That's the deal, I guess. So you're basically cocooning into this King of Wands. And that is definitely paired with the Bono Ju. So you are making these accomplishments, these achievements. You're racking up your XP so that you can turn into the what did I say? Spiritual master. So this is the archetype that you have chosen to level up into, the spiritual mastery. And so your Dharma is this sort of support that you're getting in the spiritual realm to make this accomplishment. To be more wise, to be able to have 10 torches to pass on to people. That's what I see, is that you're getting your torches ready so that you can pass those on to people. Nice, well-crafted torches too. Torches that you've whittled. Torches that you have, all the fancy things that go into making a nice torch from earthly materials. Terracotta. Maybe you have a terracotta holder on the top for the flame. I was seeing random axe videos in my feed on on Instagram because and that's making me think of that, because that's like a crafted sort of thing, right? I've seen videos where people make axes, and so oh, so many funny things are coming to mind. But I think I was getting that in my feed because I wrote the word chop in the gift finder on posts that were within the last 24 hours. There were 2 very sexually violent, sexually aggressive, sexually humiliating posts that were going around from the Israelis towards the Gazan woman, the woman of Gaza. And and not just Gaza, all the women of Palestine, the girls and children of Palestine. So the only thing that like I could think was like, well, I mean, the easy solution is chopping their dicks off, you know? I mean, like, I'm not one for chopping dicks, but if we gotta chop a dick, we chop a dick. Easy solution. I mean, so basically I found this cute little gif of a little hamster chopping up a cucumber, and with a smiling, very cute face. So, you know, that's a good representation of how we deal with sexual violence from men towards women. I mean, from men towards anybody, really. Anyway, so, yeah. That's probably why I got axes showing up. Anyway, I digress, okay? I had to bring it up because this is a pro-Palestine channel, and I will mention little updates here and there as I recall them. Anyway, so that's what you're doing. You're getting your axes ready, right? So maybe these wands are not just being used for torches. Maybe they're axes. Maybe you're getting them ready to be used as wands themselves, or chanupas, pipes. Like maybe you're getting them ready for I don't know, a bow. You're making bows. So maybe you're making arrows. Maybe you're making chopsticks. I don't know. You know what I mean? So in a way, that's what your Dharma is that you're being granted this path to ascension so that you can share your gifts of your abilities with others. And that they can take what you have given them and make something really, really fantastic from that. Because, right, you like, speaking of, you know, the axes popping up, if you give somebody an axe, that would change things drastically for them in their daily life. If they didn't have any other tool like that beforehand, and they were just walking around wondering, how do I chop stuff up? Without using other resources. How do I chop stuff up real easy peasy? An axe, dude. Axe. Okay? Hatchet. Anyway, So let's get a couple more cards and we'll wrap this up. You got the Seihai no Nana, the 7 of Cups in the upright. Okay. And that's beautiful. So in return of you being able to like give like, so it's for me, what I see your Dharma as, first and foremost, is the ability to have a role in this world and to give things to people, to give people the ability to accomplish their spiritual role in this world, what their spirit is truly seeking to do. And because of that, for you, your Dharma, secondarily, is that you get all these other options. Like, for me, what I'm trying to say is that the priority of your Dharma is dependent on what is important to you. And so, after you give people the option to do things, your secondary Dharma that you're receiving is the ability to have options. It's kind of funny to say. It feels like you're a very potentially a very giving sort of person in terms of how, what it is that you wish to reap the rewards of your Dharma. So let's get one last card here and then we'll wrap this up. All right. Uno más. Okay. We got the Sun in reverse. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting Dharma. What is this Dharma saying? Silver lining, I would say. Cloudy days aren't so gray. So your Dharma is that you're going to be able to enjoy the days where things aren't so perfect. You're going to be able to make do with what you got. But you also are going to be received. I mentioned this in a former reading. You're going to be received as like the silver lining to people's dreams and their worries and their woes. And they're gonna be like, well, at least I got my homie that knows everything about the universe, Like, at least I got my homie that is very abundant in terms of their ability to be there for me emotionally. Because if we talk about 7 of Cups, that's an emotional energy too. You could be a pretty reliable person, and that's your Dharma, is that people see you as their homie when they're down and out, when the skies are gray. And then you come up like the sunshine through those clouds. Because it looks real beautiful on those days, when it's real cloudy and the sun is just peeking through. And those rays of sunshine beaming across the clouds looks just so spectacular, So that is your Dharma, okay? Is that you get these basic sort of fulfillments in life. Okay, so we're gonna wrap that up for you, number 2. Ahehe, Gikawaba man minawa. And number 3, we're beginning at 29 minutes. Ya'at to those who have chosen number 2, the pink kitty with the mistletoe bow. Okay, let's see what the Dharma is for you. What is your Dharma? Boom. We got 1, 2 of swords. Ken no ni in reverse. What's that, baby? Okay. I think that's saying that you ain't gonna play today. Really. So, 2 of swords is about a really big decision. A really big decision to be made. But your Dharma says that the decisions that you have made are the things that you're going to be reaping your Dharma from. These huge life-changing decisions that you've made throughout your life. You know? It's like, for example, you think of something that you did a long time ago, and you're like, well, now I see why I did that. Or like, after a while, you're like, why did I do that, you know? And then you finally see that. So, in a way, it's like saying, you're going to get some clarity about these decisions that you've made in your life, I would say. You know? That is your Dharma, is clarity. And from that, work. Why? Koka no hachi. You got the 8 of Pentacles in the upright. 8 of Pentacles. So, that's about work. That's about putting your energy to good use. That's about upgrade. That's about evolution. So there's something you're working on, I suppose. And your Dharma has to do with the decisions that you made to lead you up to this point where you're working on this task, where you're working on this thing. So perhaps this has to do with an XP thing, where you invested all your XP. And how those skills and traits are influencing you and impacting you now. We also got here Sinsha in reverse. That's the Chariot in reverse. So with the Chariot in reverse, oh boy, that's a bit of a that could be an indicator of what I was saying about these past decisions, like these decisions that you've made on your journey, these decisions that have caused you to have to be like, okay, I gotta move, I can't stay here, I can't be here. So this could have to do with, your Dharma could have something to do with you choosing to physically move away from decision, from things. My English. So, yeah. And that's impacting your work. So let's see what else we can get here. Alright. We got the Ace of Swords in reverse. So the Ace of Swords in reverse, to clarify the, the Chariot in reverse. That is about a huge decision, but it's also about, so you got two like huge kind of like decision cards here, communication cards, but that's also about communication. Okay, so this is interesting because you got some past energy showing up here about you communicating, you speaking your truth, you saying it like it is, but also having to be receptive to the truth. And how that's caused you to be like, okay, let's move on physically from this situation. I'm going to pack up and move back to my home country, back to my home state, my hometown, etc., or move to a new place, whatever. Go to a new college. I don't know what you're doing, but these things are all coming to the fruition, to the front when it comes to your work, your ability to work, and your ability to evolve and transcend these things. So I suppose your Dharma is your ability to apply all these things that you've learned from the decisions that you've made, from the things that you've said and perceived and conceived, where you've been. So yeah, you're basically using your XP points now. You're applying them to your current situation, and you're seeing where you can evolve and transcend. So this sort of self-mastery is kind of what's coming through here. And then we got the Fool. I'm gonna put that in like a neutral spot there. The Fool, that is Gusha. 0. And you got 2 major arcana cards so far. 3 minor, you haven't gotten any court cards. So your Dharma has a lot to do with your spiritual wealth, your spiritual wellness. And your ambition, your ability to unlock new goals, new achievements, new tasks. Okay, come on. Okay, so let's get one more card to cross vertically this neutral energy coming through the Fool. So I would say this is the energy that you're like applying to this right now. As you are listening to this reading, you are thinking perhaps to yourself that you are starting to trust yourself more with things. You're starting to trust that you can actually make these accomplishments that you are really trying to work on. All right, the last card that we have here is Koka no Yon, the 4 of Pentacles in the upright. And that is about the ability to basically, I know a lot of people say it's like penny pinching and all that, but I see this as like the generosity card, as the ability to be charitable. So your Dharma is that you are going to be able to, depending on what position you're in right now, you're going to be able to incorporate being more charitable in your daily life, in your work. Or in the reverse, if you are in need of charitable offerings for you to accomplish your work, then that is what you're going to receive. And this is all going to be tied to this neutral energy that you are giving to this Dharma, which is trust, or the ability to have a more pure sort of state of mind and have more fun, because 0 Gusha, the Fool, can also be about having fun. So I would say, yeah, this is an affirmation for you, though, to definitely have more fun, smile more, make jokes, lighthearted, of course, if, as it may apply. I did mention something about chopping phalluses in the other reading, because of the Israeli people. They're disgusting. Just for context, in case you didn't listen to that reading. Anyway, this concludes your reading for those who have chosen the the pink cat. If you chose the pink kitty, and that's all you chose, then ahehe, kiko apameninoa. And to those who have chosen otherwise and more, you shall also be giving blessings and stuff and love. Yes.